Manny can stamp 345 envelopes in 15 minutes. How many envelopes can he stamp in 1 hour? You have to start off by doing 345 envelopes in 15 minutes. And you're trying to figure out how many of those you can get in 1 hour. Well, we know that 1 hour equals 60 minutes. So this would be 60 minutes. So how many times does 15 go into 60? It's going to be 4. So we multiply this by 4. So you have 345 times 4. You get 1,380 envelopes in 60 minutes or an hour. Okay, a snail moves 3/8 of a foot in 1/5 of an hour. What is the snail's speed? So speed in feet per hour. So we're looking for what is his speed in feet per 1 hour. So we're going to set our whole ratio equal to that. Well, make sure that our labels are the same because we label. This is going to be an hour. And then we look at this and we say, okay, well, it's 3/8 of a foot. And we have 1/5 of an hour. Well, how many 1/5s make up 1 hour? Well, it's 5. So you'd be multiplying this by 5, multiply this by 5. So off to the side here, I do 5 over 1 times 3/8, and I can't cross cancel, so I get 15/8, which is 1 and 7/8. That's going to be your answer. So this would be 1 and 7/8 feet because we multiplied by 5. Okay, I set up a table for this because it makes it a lot easier, but the table shows the fees to rent skates at a skating rink. How much does it cost to skate for 5.5 hours? Well, the first hour costs you $8. So we go to our table and first hour. Well, that's $8. Second hour is going to be $6.50. Third hour is going to be 5. Fourth hour will be 5. Fifth hour will be 5. And then we have a half because we're doing 5.5 hours. Well, half of 5 is $2.50. We then need to total that up. So that's the easy part, all zeros. 5 plus 5 is 10. Carry the 1. Oops. 8, 9, 15. 15 plus 5 is 20. 25, 30 plus 2 is $32 total. Okay, a flower shop sells 6 tulips for $10 and 3 roses for $8. If Sam buys 18 tulips and 9 roses. Okay, so that's what we're gunning for. So we have 6 tulips and they're $10. And we're trying to get to 18 tulips. How much is that part going to cost? We're eventually going to have to total them all up, but 6 goes into 18 times 3, so you get 18 times this by 3. So we end up with $30 for the tulips. Alright, so tulips equal $30. Now we got to work on the roses. The roses, so you get 9 roses, whoops, you get 3 roses. 3 roses for $8, which then you're trying to get to 9 roses. Well, we have to multiply by 3 because 3 times 3 is 9. Whatever you do to the top, you got to do to the bottom. Multiply by 3, you get $24. So the roses equal $24. We would then have to total these up, and 30 plus 24 is going to be $54. And that will be our answer. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this problem two different ways, but it says compare the prices of the salads below. Which salad costs the most per pound? Well, you would have to divide the price by how many pounds. So this one would be 28 divided by 7, and that's going to equal $4 per pound. This one, 7 divided by 2 is going to equal $3.50 per pound. This one divided by 3 comes out to $3. It's going to be 33, and it's going to be repeating, but it would be 33 and 1/3. This one is going to be divided by 6, and we end up with, let me see here, 4. And then, I'll just do it off to the side. 26 divided by 6 is 4. I get 24. I get 2 left over. Add a decimal. Add a few zeros for fun. Bring down that 0. 6 goes into 20. 3 times, we get 18. And that's going to be 3333 repeating also. Now, obviously the tuna is going to be the most expensive. So our answer would be tuna. Now, if you didn't feel like doing this whole thing out, you could say, all right, 28 divided by 7 is 4. So then you look at this. What is 7 times 4? Or excuse me, what's 2 times 4? That's 8. So that one's less. So you know that the 3 bean is less. All right, so 4 is still our number 1. What's 3 times 4 is 12. That's still, this $10 is still less than that 12. And then we do 4 times 6 is 24. Uh-oh, we got 26 here. So we know that the tuna is going to be the most expensive. It's another way of looking at it, but you would have to describe that too. You can't just wing it on that one, guys. Last but not least, a person is out kayaking, travels 5/9 of her trip at an average speed of 10 miles per hour. She then travels the remaining 16 miles of her trip in 2 hours. How long does her trip take? Okay, this problem was rough. A person out kayaking travels 5/9 of her trip at an average speed of 10 miles per hour. That doesn't really help you except for the fact that you know that she traveled 5/9 of her trip. She then travels the remaining 16 miles of her trip in 2 hours. All of this information is needed. But we have 5/9, okay? And we know that if there are 5/9, we know that the total trip would be 9/9. So 5/9 or 1 or 9/9 minus 5/9 is going to give you 4/9 for this section, which is the remaining 16 miles. That helps us out huge. So then we take 4/9, and we know that that would be equivalent to 16, because 16 miles is a part, and the number 4 is a part. So we set our part to our part, and now we don't know how many total miles were in that kayaking trip, but we can figure it out if we set this ratio up. So 4 goes into 16 how many times? Well, 4 times 4 equals 16. 9 times 4 is going to be 36. Now we know that there are 36 total miles, okay? So that's huge, because what we now know is we have 36 miles total. And we've already done 16 of them. So minus 16, we have 20 miles left in that 5/9. So if we're going 10 miles per hour, 20 miles divided by 10 equals 2 hours to do the first part of the trip. And then the second part of the trip, they already gave it to us, is another 2 hours. So 2 hours plus 2 hours equals 4 hours total. Ah, let me undo that part. If you got this one right on your own, nice job. If you have another way of solving it, show me in class. I'd be happy to look it over. Hope this helps. Thanks. Have a good one.